All right, let's talk Rangers-Panthers Game 2 and the Oilers' double overtime win over the Stars with former NHL player and host of Missin Curfew, Scottie Upshall. What's up, fella? How you feeling today, man?
My man, Brandon, I'm good. Thank you. It's a big weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Everyone's feeling good. We're here in California, so the beaches are rocking. And excited for Game 2 tonight, my man.
Yeah, man, Game 2 is going to be a blast. It's going down at the Garden. I want to get your perspective from a player's standpoint. The Rangers obviously lost Game 1 at home. It's their first time losing a game at home, and it's their first time being down in a series. So from a player standpoint, does losing a game like that mess with you guys' mental, or do you take that as motivation? And what's the conversations like in a locker room after a loss like that?
A great coach called John Cooper once said that Game 1 of a series doesn't mean too much, so don't look too far into it. Now, a team like New York playing the way they are, a little break in between Carolina series and now facing Florida. Listen, it was a big Game 1, but I thought Florida played a perfect road game, put New York in a position where they had to find a way to get one past Bobrovsky, and right now I see this being a goalie battle, right? So the team's just got to look at this like, Lafreniere makes a mistake late in the third, puts it in his own net. But other than that, the chances were back and forth. I thought New York actually had, if you look at quality chances and breakaways, New York had the advantage there. Just finding a way to put one past Bobrovsky is going to be the trick. But going into Game 2, these guys, they're all pros. It's just such an exciting time of year. What a buzz in the city, right, to New York. And they'll use that energy in MSG to their advantage tonight.
Well, a lot of people have hit the panic button already, and they're saying things like Florida was a lot more physical than the Rangers. When a player hears something like that, how do you guys respond to that the next game?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be called soft, so I'm not going to use that word. But, you look at the way the Florida Panthers are built, and they're going on the road with really no pressure, right? They've been there before. Last year, trip to the Stanley Cup final. Fell short, but they know what it takes. And a lot of it's 50-50 puck battles. When you go into a 50-50 puck battle, 50% of that time you should get it back. And I think, Florida won that battle, won that advantage. And it's just a test, right? It's just to test up these guys. Maybe it's a challenge. But they know deep down, New York's a team that's not going to get pushed around. Whether we see the Empire State Building in Mark Messier want him in the lineup tonight. So will they be listening to the ESPN analysis and Stanley Cup champ Mess, the legend? We'll be seeing, but expect New York to come out physical. Like I said, use MSG to their advantage. To me, there's no way this team goes down 2-0 in a big series, the Eastern Conference Final. So I know where my money would be laid tonight.
I didn't want to get into the whole Rimpey hype, but just from a player standpoint, what's that conversation like between Peter Laviolette and Rimpey, or the guy, let's say he's going to bring Rimpey in. What's that conversation like with him and the guy that actually has to sit because Rimpey's now in the lineup?
Yeah, you got to use all 25 guys, come playoff time, whether a guy's slated in and out because of energy, because they need a spark. Like I said, I wouldn't be pushing any panic buttons right now, but I would use Rimpey to our advantage in our home building. I think it's a way to get the fans involved. It's a way for the team to have an extra spark. But you got to, a guy like Matt, you got to go out and you got to do, things that aren't going to put you in the penalty box and put your team down, because Florida, given an advantage and a power play, are a great team. So use your energy. They're definitely going to be winning physical battles if that guy's on the ice, and expect to see him in the lineup tonight if in fact they need that spark.
I love how you say use the energy, but don't put your team in a bad situation. Don't bite the cheese. We get so caught up in the Rangers storylines here in New York, and we're not even thinking about how the Panthers want to write their own story for themselves this season. So do you think that the Panthers can turn up the heat in Game 2, or do you think that they played their best hockey Game 1?
No, I think I said it earlier, right? They played a perfect playoff road game to start a series off. They, they did the right things. They scored early. They got their big boy Matty Tkachuk involved with a goal and a couple big hits. He takes Trocheck down in the first period with a good, clean hockey check. And Barkov's playing the way he is. You look at, their back end, a guy like Ekblad's starting to play a little bit more minutes. So these guys they're finding their groove, and they were here last year. Let's not forget just what kind of run they went on last year for a team that barely got in the playoffs. that fought, goaltending issues all year. Bobrovsky gets a chance to come in mid-first round last year, and look at what he's done since then. He's if not the best goalie right now in the NHL. Him and Igor pushing for what could be a Conn Smythe, playoff run for either of these guys should they make it to the dance. But Florida's, their message right now is pretty clear. We have a sour taste in our mouth of losing last year. We know what it takes, and we've got the guys in the room to do it. So, it's a good battle right now. You got to be excited looking at the series from outside in.
Yeah, I love playoff hockey, man. Let's go out west because I missed curfew and my bedtime last night watching Connor McDavid score 32 seconds into the second overtime. The Oilers took game one. Thoughts on McDavid throughout this entire playoffs, and what are your thoughts on the series?
Yeah, I mean, Connor's a very special player, and what a gift it is to a hockey fan right now to be able to see him and a guy like Leon Draisaitl battle for the Western Conference, championship, which they were there a couple years ago, fell short in 4 straight to Colorado. Again, you talk about a team that's been through a lot, like this season, at one point dead last, coaching change. And then from then on out, probably the best team with the best record in the NHL. And these guys are on a mission. What Connor did last night was, he played the game he needed to play. He didn't play too many minutes. He didn't get extended. The game went into overtime. I don't know if you missed curfew, you missed him missing open net, which was very un-Connor McDavid-like. But, he basically shut the critics right up with the 30-second goal into the second overtime, and he did it for his teammates. If you looked at the interview last night with Gretz and Biz on TNT, he basically said he apologized to the guys, said that has to go in, no question, and he went out next shift and did it. But again, guys like Bouchard, Hyman, these guys are on a mission right now, and Edmonton's a team that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah, man. Shout out your platform, man. Where can people find you?
Appreciate that again, Brandon. Listen, we're the Missin Curfew podcast, me and Shane O'Brien. We're on the DKN network on Wednesday, Fridays, and then you can find us anywhere you get a podcast, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. But we appreciate you guys having me on. That's great.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the weekend, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. You too. Go Rangers.